Thousands of teachers chanted, shouted and marched into towns and cities around the country today in the first ever joint strike by primary and secondary school teachers. And they're vowing to strike again if the government doesn't up its offer. Members of the Educational Institute and the Post-Primary Teachers Association joined forces to shut most of the country's 2,400 state and integrated schools today. They say the government's offer is inadequate and they're angry it's refusing to commit any more money to the deal. Here's our education correspondent, John Gerritsen.
Today's strike was the third in less than a year by primary school teachers and principals, but the first for secondary teachers. And in Wellington's Civic Square, it was clear they had plenty of energy for it.
We're not going to take it. No, we ain't going to take it.
Both groups of teachers have been offered 3 pay rises of 3%, and primary teachers have also been offered a new top step on their salary scale. They've rejected those offers because they want better pay and working conditions, including more non-teaching time. And today, they took that message to the streets. In Auckland, an estimated 15,000 striking teachers marched down Queen Street.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Toko Jr., who's been a teacher for less than a year, says the government needs to listen and take action.
I think at times we feel like we're not being heard, and I just think it's not about the money. You know, everybody sees the money, but there were other issues within the schools, like even overcrowding. At the moment, as a BT, I've come into the profession like, wow, we don't have enough teachers, there's not enough spaces, but we have so many children that need to be addressed, that need to be catered for.
Despite the issues facing his profession, Toko Jr. is encouraging others to become teachers.
Look at these people, they make changes in people's lives, our young people's lives.
Anya Burlad says she never could have imagined how intense her workload would be when she became a teacher.
When I signed up to teach and it was my first placement, I was like mind blown. I couldn't comprehend the amount of work teachers put into it and don't get any recognition or pay or anything for it. And I struggled that whole year kind of just comprehending that.
In Christchurch, protesters packed into Victoria Square before surging through the central city to shout their demands up at the local Ministry of Education offices. Brad Meads, a teacher at Westburn School, suited up as a dinosaur for the event to send the message that teachers' wages are prehistoric.
We're just feeling extremely overwhelmed, and a group of friends and I have decided to dress up like this today to try and make some fun out of a pretty dire situation, because our classes have far too many students in them. We are always way too tired and we're spending far too much time on our paperwork instead of actually working with our kids and coming up with great lessons for them, really.
Sam Stokes, an economics and physical education teacher at Hornby High School, says he'll be taking industrial action for the long run if that's what it takes to get more money.
I think if you want to keep teachers in the profession, you've just got to pay us more, give us better working conditions. I've got some colleagues here who are out working 15 hours a day, and it needs to be better. Otherwise, people aren't going to come to the profession. Who's going to teach the kids?
Education Minister Chris Hipkins has described today's strike as unjustified. But Anne Jarks from Riccarton High School strongly disagrees.
He's wrong. It's completely justified. We fought for ages to have time to do our job. For years, we've suffered, and the students have suffered because they haven't had that time. We're not attracting the teachers in. The ones we keep in, we don't manage to keep staying in the profession because for them, it's not worth it. So Chris Hipkins has got it wrong this time.
Whatever she says, believe it. I believe her. She's a teacher.
And Myrna Burrows, a teacher from Rolleston Christian School, says teachers' demands are more than just money for money's sake.
Not necessarily financially for us, but more so for support staff in the classrooms, so to help us so that we can be able to teach the children that are in our classes.
In Wellington, protesters took that message onto Parliament grounds, where there was really only one man they wanted to see. And the Education Minister obliged, coming down from his beehive office to address the crowd.
You told us that we need more teachers in classrooms, and we are addressing that.
But his message, calling for patience and emphasising the changes the government is making for schools, did nothing to satisfy striking teachers. Chris Hipkins later told reporters he acknowledges the issues teachers are raising, but the government can't fix every problem overnight. The Education Ministry is trying to bring the teacher unions to facilitated bargaining, but they're resisting, and at this stage there's nothing to stop more industrial action planned by secondary teachers in June and July. Mō te hōtaka o te ahi, ko John Gerritsen tēnei.